Hello, uh, my name is Michael Smith, and this is my life. Today it is August the 25th of 2017, and for me it is 5:55 in the a.m. Um, Yesterday was a real wingdinger. I haven't cut one of these videos in a while, in large part, I think, because I was going through a spell where I think nobody was listening to them. I record these videos. I started recording these videos for my children and for my grandchildren, hopefully. Because as I get older, I wish that I had more time with my grandfathers and that I had known them better. I had such brief snapshots of them when I was growing up. And, as you grow, the memories of what you hold on to and what you lose, it's frustrating. But I was blessed to have a couple of really great grandfathers, and so I don't know. Maybe I hope that these videos will fall into the hands of my grandchildren and maybe even my children as they get older and want to reflect themselves. Um, and then started putting them on YouTube because I thought that some of the lessons that I learned, well, maybe somebody else could learn from them too. I'm not I'm not the sharpest tool in the toolbox. Far from it. But so I guess in a way, if others hear about me falling on my face and how I did it, then maybe they'll avoid similar situations. Hopefully, yesterday my wife had surgery, and so now. Last night was the first night. We knew this was coming, and I've been mentally preparing myself for it. It wasn't a major surgery, but she's not allowed to carry anything over, I think, like 5 or 10 pounds. And we have a little baby. He's just almost 3 months old, one of six. And so last night, or this morning early, when he woke up and wanted to be fed, I had to get up with my wife and wait for her to get in her chair. And then I went and got little Joseph and gave him to her. And then I had to lie and wait until they were done. And he wasn't ready to quite go back to sleep. And so I took him from her, and she laid back down so she could try and rest. And I tried laying down with the baby, hoping he would just fall asleep in my arms because I like that. It's one of the things that I've forgotten about all my children, but I enjoy so much. Like, I know I've done it with all of them, but I don't remember doing it. It's just, for me, the more I become a better father, it helps me to understand God. And I don't completely understand him, but it helps me to understand him better. Anyway, I laid down with Joseph, and Joseph didn't want to fall asleep. He kept wiggling and rooting, and so then I got up and I rocked with him, and he still didn't want to fall asleep. And then so I got his blanket out of his bassinet, and I wrapped him in it, and I think that made him like, oh, it's sleep time. And so then I finally laid him down, and then he was wiggling, but he didn't start crying or anything, so then he fell asleep. So then I finally got up for the day. Yesterday, my oldest stepson, he's 15, he had marching band practice at the school, and so to make it easier on my wife, I took all the little ones, except for Joseph, and I took Zachary, who's 2, Pearl, who's 4, Theodore, who's 5, Walter, who's 8. I took them all to the playground at the school, and we played next door, and there was no comfortable place for me to sit down. I just wanted to rest and relax, but I had walked around and watched them play, and I had moments with each of them while I was watching them play. I saw Walter playing with some other boys that happened to walk onto the playground, and I thought that was really amazing. Me, I'm extremely shy, and to see him to be able to go up to people he doesn't know at all and just to get along and play and have fun, I thought that was really special and wonderful. my Pearl, who's 4, and Theodore, who's 5, they are just two peas in a pod. They love each other so much, and they're so close. And at one point I turned around, and they were walking right next to each other, and they each had an arm around the other, walking side by side to the next set of playground equipment, ready to set off on another adventure. And it was just absolutely beautiful. And I tried to whip out my iPod really quick so I could take a picture. And by the time I got it out, it was over. They were running and playing, and that's okay. But those are the types of things that I don't really want to miss. There were several moments with Zachary. I had to stay with Zachary because he's 2, and he's adventurous, and he wants to run off. So I had to keep him in bounds. And there were just so many moments where he just gives me this completely 100% smile that's just with all the love in his heart. You can just see that he's smiling from the depths of his soul. It was just absolutely beautiful. So for me, yesterday was a very trying day in the beginning because my wife was having surgery, and you always worry, always praying that, get in there and find out that she was miraculously cured. However, that didn't happen, but they did find out that what was wrong was not nearly as wrong as they thought it was. So they didn't have to work as extensively as they thought they were going to have to. So that was a godsend, and got through that, and now I get to spend the next several weeks focusing extra hard on serving my wife, which I love to do. It's not always easy, but I love to do it. So, I don't know. That's all I gotta say about that.